guys piling in tonight, man. It's so good to see. First across the line, Mike Draco keeping his streak alive. Mohawk Mike Motorcycles, Arizona. Moises, good to see you here. Steve Burrows from Detroit. Rob Nussbaum. Scott Stefano, hey now. Jay Barton, bust out the H2. Good to see all you guys here, man. I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. I'm going to be your engineer tonight for 60 minutes of performance television with Torque. Jason Sims is in. He's in, but you're about 10th in line, man. You missed the first spot again. It's going to be a great show tonight. Lots going on, man. We're getting ready to head out for all directions, really. But tonight, it's all about Torque. You can do your part to help this show get out there. Hit the like and share button. Get it out further and further every week. We're going live in 3.5 with Torque. Don't go anywhere. Just 2.5 minutes. Couple more shout outs. Troy McCracklin, Lakeland, Florida. Todd Corey. Nancy Weems, good evening. Rob Nussbaum, Jason Holman, John O'Brien are killing it, folks. Stay tuned. Awesome. Scott Stefano, yes, we have audio here in the studio. Hey, man, listen, while the show is going on, you don't have to be just another observer and sit back and watch the stuff these guys are talking about. You can get involved. The chat box on the left-hand side of the screen is up throughout the show. We want to hear your questions, comments, and concerns. Anywhere you're watching this from, just throw your comments up, and we'll get to them throughout the show. Just a minute and a half, we're going live with this one. Thursday night here in the Source Media studio, and we're going live with Torque. Minute and a half. Rich Kozo out of Facebook jail. Congratulations, man. That sucks. Facebook's tough, man. It's a tough crowd. Who else we got in here? George Hoops. The famous man hopefully watching for a day to give you a handshake. Right on, man. So good to see you here, George. Hey, 15 seconds left and we're going live with this one. I guess it's time to get this one fired up and take you guys on 60 minutes of Torque performance. Here we go.
All right, good Thursday evening, and welcome to the SHINE WERKS studio. I am your host with the most, Jason Hallman. 3 letters come to mind this week, and they are BRL, BRL, BRL. My co-host, John O'Brien from Hardcore Cycles, is with us this evening. How are you doing this evening, John?
I'd be doing better if I made it to the Bagger Racing League.
I know. I kept wishing all weekend that you were going to go like, "Hey, I just thought I'd surprise you." Yeah, you just show up,
fat ninja style.
Yeah, right. That was not the case, and man, I mean, I had no shortage of great people to hang out with. I hung out with John Jessup and Tom Jessup, and Jim Sanborn from the Stockton Team Dream Rides. Yep. Jeff G and the V-Twin Visionary crowd. Jason Pullen was out there. We have a ton of media that we're going to cover over the next few weeks with everybody that I want to share. I got to meet Jason Pullen, and that was pretty awesome. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he defies gravity with that thing.
Yeah, you watch all these other guys that do really amazing stuff on their motorcycles with stunt work and things like that. And then I'm not taking away anything from those guys. Those guys ride really hard. They've got amazing motorcycles. But when you watch, a crew of people that are managed by somebody that's been doing it, arguably, I don't know anybody who's been doing it longer than Jason Pullen. I think that was one of the first videos I ever watched on YouTube, was him doing those, doing what he does very well. His wife, Samoan Bruce, have you seen that guy ride?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what I did to him, but he rides the thing like he hates it.
And he goes past 12 o'clock, and then he stretches, and the foot's dragging. I have no idea how the fuck he stays on.
Dude, he's not a little guy either. He's a pretty big dude. And
he doesn't look at it.
No, and the bike is beautiful, and on the back of the bags, like he cut the bags. And
he had to.
I can't remember who it was, but someone said to him, "Hey man, like you did all that work." He's like, "Yeah, I cut him too short," and so he just doesn't care, dude. He threw it out. So we did a live broadcast, but we've got some stuff that
cool.
What I will call in the torque vault at this point. I've got something else I want to show you, John.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so we're working with, let me see, I know figure out my direction here. We're working with a company called M20 North, and they're going to be bringing us, we're gonna have a lot of really cool merch very soon. Yeah, so I've got some of that for you, and I finally got you a Torque T-shirt, so I'll send something out to you here in the next couple of days. So the BRL, we were at the Utah Motorsports Complex. We saw racing, we saw stunt riding. There were some vendors there: Arlen Ness, Drag Specialties, Trask Performance, Pistol Pete. Lots of sportsman racers. There was a pile of those people there too. And actually, I hitched a ride. I want to thank John Jessup for letting me ride around in his rental car all weekend. And we've got a good video of that. I think, Chris, if you could bring that up, there's some B-roll of us coming in to the Utah Motorsports Complex. We came in hard for the whole weekend, and we had a good time.
Was that you driving there?
No, I was riding in the back seat. That was the cool off, right? So we've got a lot to cover tonight. We have 4 guests this evening. We have 4 from the Graham things. And listen, everybody, if you don't forget, this is an interactive show. So if you have a question for us, it goes right up here. And our show producer, Chris Callan, other side, the right side. You're right, yeah. And we'll try to get that answered for you. So we've got Paul Yaffe from Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation. We've got Ari Levenbaum from Law Tigers. He's got some really cool stuff that's coming up for Sturgis. We've got Pro Stock Bagger Racer. We can say that now. He's a Pro Stock Bagger Racer, bona fide. Steve Chamberlain, and then team owner Pete Nowasky. Pistol Pete was with us a couple weeks ago. And I have to tell you, John, far and away, his crew, his rig, his whole deal was 1,000% pro, and so it was really cool. And I've got a lot of stuff with them too. So, and we've got a segment. I kind of picked a favorite that I kind of latched onto when I was there, the team from Lucky's Speed Shop. And so what I'd like to do now is go to news. We've got a lot of stuff tonight. Let's get Chris Callan in here and find out what's going on in the world of motorcycling.
Let's see what we got.
All right, John and Jason, thanks for bringing us on. Hey, everybody, I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and this is the Torque Quick 60. First up in the news tonight, and basically because we all need a good laugh after a tough week, MotoPeanuts.com.
I heard about this.
Dude, right? 2 riders recreate Dumb and Dumber bike trip. 615-kilometer tandem ride on a moped. It's hard to deny the effect road trips and movies and television have on us riders. Who hasn't watched Easy Rider or The Great Escape and wanted to get on a bike immediately after? Or who wasn't seen any of the Long Way series and seriously considered adventure riding after? There's no shortage of epic road trips that inspire riders to replicate it in real life. However, there is one that no one has been bold enough to do until now.
So that's it. Nebraska to Aspen on a mission to deliver this briefcase and myth bust the Dumb and Dumber mini bike road trip. And it starts just as soon as we can ride into this wind, 20 miles an hour, 29 degrees.
I'm excited to start, but I know the enthusiasm is just going to nosedive as soon as we're actually out there.
Maybe this guy will give us a ride.
How do we make this happen,
dude?
For us?
Seriously.
Dude, did they piss on one another?
Listen,
hope not.
I watched a good bit of the clip, and like they recreated so many of the scenes and did a really good job at doing it too. And I mean, you know, give them credit for that. Like, look, COVID's been hard for everybody, right?
Right.
That's great.
Jesus. So next up in the news from Top Speed, the radical new motorcycle design will do 250 miles per hour, introducing the WMC 250 EV to the world. No content with producing a bike powered by electricity. White Motorcycle Concepts is redefining the motorcycle aerodynamics as well. The radical new design channels air through the bike rather than trying to push it aside, and in the process increases downforce without increasing drag. Electric motors in the front wheel mean it's two-wheel drive and can recharge the batteries through regenerative braking. 250. So, you know, it's a hard sticking point for old, naturally aspirated heads like me, but it looks like the question of will electric vehicles, specifically electric motorcycles, ever take hold? Pretty serious. 250 miles an hour, right?
That's fast. I don't know. You know, this is kind of unrelated on that, but it's still an electric vehicle. The Ford Motor Company with the electric Cobra Jet set a new world record in the low 8s with a quarter mile time. I mean, people are putting some serious technology into these things. So, you know, it's great. It's unfun, but it's quiet.
I still want gasoline. Let's burn them bones.
Yeah, let's burn them dinosaurs up.
Next up in the news from our own Cycle Source Magazine, Barnes charges to Bagger Racing League win on Harley-Davidson Road Glide Special. Hoban Brothers Racing DTF performance rider Michael Barnes rode a race-prepared Harley-Davidson Road Glide Special motorcycle to victory in the inaugural Bagger Racing League BRL road race event on June 27th at Utah Motorsports Campus in Erda, Utah. Competing in the main event Premier Bragger class, Barnes beat S&S Indian motorcycle rider Tyler O'Hara to finish the finish line by 0.356 seconds. Goes on to talk about Corey West, third on the Saddleman Racing, Sly Fox Performance, Harley-Davidson Road Glide Special, BRL support classes. Benny Carlson won both the Hooligan GP, Suburban Motors Harley-Davidson XR 1200, and Pro Stock GP, Suicide Machine Company, Harley-Davidson Road Glide races. So definitely the enthusiasm is there. And boy, Indian and Harley back and forth, right?
It was standing room only during the Bagger GP, Chris. There was nobody sitting down. Everybody was up looking.
This is a tough bit of news, man. I mean, you know, my motorcycle passion goes across all bounds, and this is in from Cycle News. Supercross and FIM part ways. No longer will you see the words "and FIM World Championship" after Monster Energy Drink AMA Supercross Series, now that Supercross and the FIM have officially parted ways. FIM first made an announcement with a release issue earlier today, June 29th, which was followed by a release from Field Entertainment, the organizers of the Monster Energy Drink AMA Supercross Championship. As a direct result of the impact on the ongoing coronavirus pandemic at Feld Motorsports, the promoters of Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship, have confirmed that they unfortunately will not renew their international sanctioning agreement with the FIM as the series reverts back to a domestic series for the next season onward, under the control of the American Motorcyclists Association. So, I mean, you know, what does this mean? I hope it's not a step backwards. You know, that's as far as family entertainment and you know, for recharging the sport. It's stuff like this that's critical and crucial. So I hope it's not a sticking point.
Let's be honest that's where that starts for most of us. Most of us started on a dirt bike.
Absolutely.
You know, even if we didn't compete at any kind of a level, that's where it started. So I mean, you know, I hope that it doesn't mean that. I hope it just means that creates a space for somebody new to come in and prop it up.
Absolutely. So the big event is right around the corner, and our last piece of news in tonight is directly from Law Tigers. Are you ready to be styling in Sturgis? $120,000 worth of prizes up for grabs. 3 chances to win. Law Tigers giving you multiple chances to win. Prizes include a brand new Paul Yaffe custom motorcycle, gear from the hottest vendors at the rally, and trips to the 81st annual Sturgis Rally.
I can't wait for Sturgis.
I can't believe it's here already, dude. But can you imagine winning that package? Like, because let's face it, most people's first time to Sturgis is the first time to Sturgis. It's the one and only time that a lot of people ever get to go. Can you imagine, like, this is it, this is the time, you've been waiting all your life to go to Sturgis, and then you get this package laid on you and you're going as an absolute rock star. Can you just wrap your head around that for a second, that how lucky we are that we get to do this, right? Year after year. I mean, you know, everybody takes a year off here or there, whatever, just due to extenuating circumstances. But, you know, I know this will be John's first year, but you and I have gone pretty consecutive. We're old heads. That's why. It's such a great event, and it's such can I just tell you what I'm most reticent about is that it means that it's the end of the summer and everybody kind of goes back. This summer flew by, dude.
Incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
But you know, we're blessed at the same time that things are getting back to normal. People are starting to, you know, get their feet under them again, and you know, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a readjustment period. There's no doubt, but thankfully so. Well, you know what, we do have Ari from Law Tigers and Paul Yaffe from Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation waiting in the green room. Why don't we bring them in and let them tell us all about their Sturgis, what's going on this year, and find out how we can win this. Okay, I'm going to cut out and let you guys loose. Thanks for everybody putting up with my bullshit here while we went through the Torque Quick 60.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Welcome to the SHINE WERKS studio, Mr. Yaffe and Mr. Ari Levenbaum from Law Tigers. How are you, Paul? How are you, Ari?
Excellent. Thank you for having us.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Have you recovered from your 6-day trek there and back yet, Paul?
No, the sunburn is setting in now, so.
I know my wife goes, "What's wrong with your nose?" I go, "I didn't have any SPF. I didn't have her there to tell me, hey, you got to put something on your face or you're going to burn up," right?
Yeah, I toasted I always burn my bottom lip. I don't know what that is. I just have a shelf of a bottom lip or something.
So you guys are working together on what sounds to be a pretty magnanimous sweepstakes, and why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I can tell you that I've been working tirelessly on a 2020 Road Glide that Ari provided me to customize through the summer. I involved some friends of mine. Nick Trask got involved. Curtis Hoffman got involved.
Great guys.
JC Mason from Rolling Art Custom Paint and ODC Suspensions out of Italy all stepped up. And so Nick, I'll start with Nick. He put a turbo on the bike, a really radical turbo, and one of his incredible billet swing arms and some other cool accessories, a window derby cover and stuff like that. There it is. That's the turbo.
Wow.
Sexy beast right there. So I've been working on that thing every day. I worked on it a bunch today and got a bunch more stuff done to it. Trying to get it done so Ari can get some pictures of it in the next week or so. Then Curtis Hoffman gave me a full carbon fiber body for it, tip to tip. God, and I've never worked with his carbon fiber, and my God, is it incredible. Just blow your mind how light it is. And then he did a special honeycomb pattern in it that I just think is super cool. And anyway, JC's got it. He's painting it now. He's putting some graphics on it. And we just put an inverted fork and a set of remote reservoir shocks from ODC on there. And it's going to be a monster of a motorcycle, 160 horsepower, super lightweight, brand new Road Glide, and somebody's going to win it. So
that's awesome. Go
Real
ahead.
quick, one of the questions I had was what were you expecting horsepower, which you're looking at 160 out of that thing, which is impressive. Everybody saw pics of the honeycomb from Hoffman as you were picking it up, because it was a fucking killer job. Are you? You said it was out the paint. Are you doing like a partial paint job where the carbon's still somewhat exposed? Can you talk about that at all, or is it top secret still?
Just putting some like race graphics on it. I took the Ari had a set of Harley Davidson's. I'm not sure. I think they're called Prodigy wheels, but they look like lace spoked wheels. They come on the specials this year. Yeah. Ari had a set of those left over from a Road Glide I had just built for him last year that we put some carbon fiber wheels on. So I stripped them and had them show polished, and then I did a translucent orange powder coat on them to make them look anodized. It came out really cool. So the bike will have some orange graphics, and then we Cerakoted just about everything on the bike got Cerakoted. A gunmetal gray, so we'll pull some gunmetal gray into the graphics, and then probably a little black. Like a Harley Davidson, like a Willie G #1 with the skull, with the Willie G skull in it, and that kind of stuff. It'll be real appropriate for such a performance oriented bike. So.
Very cool. Now, when you spend as much time as you do on something like this, and it comes time to let it go, do you ever have issues with that? Did you ever have one like fuck? I don't want to get rid of this one. Yeah,
I'm. What's really going to hurt is when I ride it, and then I'll totally fall off. Yeah, and then I'll not want to get away.
I told Paul that if the winner doesn't want it, I'll gladly buy it back from them.
I don't think the chances of that very slim. Very slim. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm jealous because he built my bike last year, and now he's building a faster, more expensive bike actually this year. This year's bike's probably going to be close to $100,000 when it's all said and done. That's just the bike. That doesn't include the third place prize or the fact that we're flying someone in and putting them up at Glencoe. So, I mean,
that's awesome.
This is going to be probably the biggest, I don't know of a bigger prize that's been given away. And that's why when I decided it needed to be done, that Paul was the guy to turn to, because not only does he build beautiful bikes, but performance-oriented bikes, which is obviously in line with what we're talking about here on torque. But I mean, just not only is it beautiful, but fast, and Paul and I ride together fast, and whoever gets this bike is going to be able to do the same.
Yeah, let's be honest, Ari. You've been answering to my 131 this whole summer.
It's funny. I was at Nick's place last week doing some filming. When is he putting the turbo on? And I'm like, Nick, I think I'm going to need you to turbocharge my bike just so I can keep up with Paul, because I'm getting real tired with looking at his tire and his backside and inhaling his dog. So.
Two quick questions before I kick it back to Jason. Ari, is there any chance of you doing the switcheroo before you get the pictures of this done and published? You taking this bike and you're giving away yours?
Yeah. Hey, no one knows what it looks like yet. So
that's what I'm saying. Before those pictures go out, you can do the switcheroo.
Well, the funny thing is, Nick and Paul, you got to ride this bike before we give it away, because then you're really going to want to turbocharge it. So, or put a 131 in, but my budget's been blown, so I'm done with it. But no, I I love the bike Paul built me, and that was really the impetus for doing this bike. I was so happy with, Paul and I become friends, and we socialize, and our wives are friends, and this bike build collaboration we did last year, was just such a positive experience, and I was so fortunate to be able to do it. And I'm like, I want to make this opportunity, or give this opportunity to somebody else. And so, to Paul's credit, he agreed to do this. I mean, he's putting in tons of his own time and money and effort. And I can't thank him enough, as well as our other sponsors, for doing this, because, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Very cool. Now, Paul, what about braking? With all this horsepower, what you end up doing for brakes?
So I haven't done anything with the brakes yet. So we haven't really decided what we are going to do. We have some options. We certainly could do some radial calipers on it if it needs it. And we have some 15-inch rotors that we offer as part of our product line that we could put on it too. So the bike's still under the knife. So I'm adding stuff every day. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what it needs.
One of the viewers is asking, single or dual turbo?
A single is just plenty.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I've ridden a couple bikes with trans turbos, and they're absolutely insane. I mean, they're sick.
A dual I think would just create reliability and tuning nightmares. So one's enough.
Back to you, Jason.
Thank you. Hey, Ari, so I want to talk a little bit about why Law Tigers would do an initiative like this. What is it? Obviously, unfortunately, people don't always need a lawyer, especially a personal injury lawyer, until there's an accident or an immediate need for it. So how do you, obviously you're showing your hand there, you're part of the community in that. What is Law Tigers all about?
Well, as you mentioned, we are motorcycle lawyers first and foremost, and we have a network of local attorneys throughout the country. But, we're so much more than that. And of course, we want to be there if someone needs us. But in the meantime, we want to give back and really showcase all the great things that our culture and our community represents. And I've been a rider since I was 7 years old. And, me and my team of marketing managers and staff and lawyers many of them are riders. And so, we're always just trying to figure out ways to support the community, whether it's sponsoring, enduro cross and arena cross, or, sponsoring flat track races, or getting involved, with racers on the Bagger Racing League. We sponsor racers. So for me, it's passion. It's a passionate thing. It's what I don't watch football. I don't really get involved in other sports. Motorcycling is my thing. And whether it's personally or professionally, I just love everything about it. And of course, I like riding fast and I like performance, and, we're now associating with you guys at Torque, which is great. And I just figured, let's do something cool. We've had this contest now going on for about 7-8 years. And Lionel, who's, my right-hand guy, and I were talking, and I'm like, look, let's take it up a notch. Let's give away a bike and let's do it right. Anyone can give away a Harley. I mean, people do that all the time, but to give away a Paul Yaffe custom Harley is like 10 levels up. And I know I'm bragging on him, but not only is Paul, the nicest guy you could ever meet, but the bikes he builds are pieces of art. They're rolling artwork, and just the ingenuity and creativity. So, I wanted to give someone an experience, an opportunity to own something amazing. And so this was just the perfect thing to do. And it gets people excited about our industry, which we want, and maybe get some new people into the fold and get some new riders into our industry. But, and just so everyone's aware, there's more to the contest than just the bike. The bike is obviously the big thing, but, we've got some other great prizes. We've got Scott and Alexa Jacobs donating some artwork and a meet and greet. We've got Fat Scooters, and Paul's actually doing a cool collaboration with them, and they donated a scooter. We've got Night Rider Jewelry, Glencoe Campgrounds giving us cabins. I mean, it's just, the list goes on and on. And you can see there, Rockford Fosgate, Magnum Research. I mean, there's so many cool prizes, and I can't thank the Hot Leathers giving us gift cards, ODC. Nick, we mentioned Nick Trask Performance. We mentioned JC from Rolling Art Custom Paint, Curtis Hoffman, all the carbon fiber. I mean, these people have donated product and time, and I just can't thank them enough for it. And it's great to see everyone get together and really rally behind our industry and show all the cool things associated with it.
It's nice
Where
to
can
just
go specifically to get signed up for that? Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, sorry. I was just saying it's nice since coming out of COVID, it feels like we've all been locked up for a year, and it's really nice to be able to do something awesome for everybody as they're coming out. And this sweepstakes been super exciting, and we can't wait to see everybody in Sturgis and give this thing away. So. Yeah,
and so it's nice to know too that it's coming, that it's very genuine, and that it's coming from inside the community, right? And when it's good to find out that there's, they used to kid around, right? Paul, you've said it before a long time ago, where they called them, like, it was the rich urban biker or the rub, right? The lawyer, the doctor, the dentist. Yeah. I think you said it in part of the biker build off way back when, that there's a lot of people and a lot of parts in the motorcycle community, and it's nice that we have all of these people that want to give back too. And so why don't we tell everybody where they can go? I mean, obviously you should be following Law Tigers on Instagram, in Facebook, but where can they go specifically to sign up for the sweepstakes?
ltsturgis.com.
Very good. ltsturgis.com. So they've got a website there. It looks like you can just fill out your name, phone number, email, zip code, and enter that sweepstakes. I'm going to enter it, even though I probably can't win anyways, but I'm just going to do it just for the heck of it.
Yeah, we want to give 3 chances. So if you don't get the first place, you get the second or third. They're all very, very cool packages. And we have yet to announce where we're going to be actually presenting the winner. But we will be selecting a winner on July 15th, or winners, first, second, third place winners on July 15th. And then Paul and I are still trying to work through where we're going to actually give it to the winner or present it. But we've got some different ideas in mind, and we'll announce it on Facebook and Instagram so people know if they want to come. And check it out.
Sure, Ari, we'll also make sure that we announce it on here. It would be kind of cool to get somebody to be there and kind of in live broadcast that piece in parts. And I know you guys got to finish up with what you're working on, and I appreciate you taking time at such a short notice. And we'll make sure that we keep every one of our viewers here at Torque in tune with that. And go to Paul, what is your Instagram? Is the Paul Yaffe, or the PY Bagger Nation is going to be on Instagram, right? So that's where they can see pictures of the bike that they're riding. Perfect. Awesome. Well, awesome, guys. Have a great evening. Thank you very much for stopping by this evening.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Take care. I'll see you.
I want to win that. That's a badass bike too. Lots of cool stuff on pictures. Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, we're going to go into our first segment of the new product showcase for this week. We're going to do a commercial, and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Torque Performance Television new product showcase. And this week, I asked my daughter, Amanda, to pick her favorite part. What did you pick?
I picked the Perfect Plate Light from Electric Lighting Company.
This is a 3-in-1 license plate frame with integrated turn signals, brake light, and running light, correct?
It also has a license plate light in it as well.
Okay, now, this fits what?
So there is a hardwire universal fitment as well as a plug-and-play version for most Harleys.
And this is available in how many finishes?
So there's 3 different finishes. There's going to be matte black, gloss black, as well as chrome.
And what kind of warranty does Electric Lighting offer on their license plate frames?
So there is a 1-year warranty on the finish as well as 2 years for the LED lights.
Okay, and where can we get these?
You can get this at namscustomcycleproducts.com.
Or your local Electric Lighting dealer. Go to namscustomcycleproducts.com and look on the dealer locator and find a local dealer near you. For Torque Performance Television, I'm Jason.
I'm Amanda.
Have a great week.
Hey Hey guys, Mikkel here from Clockworks. Today I'm going to talk to you about a fantastic cleaning product that we offer called SHINE WERKS. I usually apply the product on one side of the microfiber towel and usually have a dry side, so kind of like the Karate Kid, you're going to do a wax on, wax off, clean it with one side, flip it to the dry side, you'll have no streaks left. But SHINE WERKS is a really great product that cleans and details the entire motorcycle for you. Everybody knows us because of our fantastic Clockworks Flare windshields, but a lot of people didn't know that we also have a great cleaning product. SHINE WERKS is a cleaning product that will clean and detail the whole bike. Now you can have something that will safely clean and protect the matte finish and also shine the gloss part as well as the windshield and any chrome you have on the motorcycle. Pick up a bottle at your local dealership, give us a call, order it on getclock.com. You can even find us on Amazon Prime now.
This is Danny Wilson. You're watching Torque Performance Television.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. The race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Welcome back to the SHINE WERKS studio. I am Jason Hallman. To my left is Mr. John O'Brien. Oh, the other left. I can never get that straight, right? No. I feel like Bugs Bunny. Which way did he go? Where did he go? So that was a good segment with Paul and Ari from Law Tigers. I'm excited to see who ends up with that motorcycle. That's going to be a killer motorcycle.
That is a great prize.
So lots of stuff happened last weekend, John, at the BRL. One of the things that happened was Pete Nowasky, one of our previous guests, I think it was episode 6 or 7. Yep. From Pistol Pete's Custom Cycles. He fielded 2 bikes, King Nothing, and he also had a Bagger GP with a Trask turbo on it that unfortunately didn't finish due to a broken rocker arm stud, but or a rocker arm shaft. But I have to tell you, these guys busted their ass all weekend. They were completely professional, and we both kind of came at the same time. I wanted to wrap up and talk to him about what he thought of the race, because he had a lot of stuff invested in it. So let's go to Pistol Pete up in Menomonie, Wisconsin. Hello, how are you, sir?
Awesome. How are you guys tonight?
Good. You fresh as a daisy back at your shop. So
yeah. Yep.
Dude, long weekend. You guys kicked ass. I have to tell you, man, I was so impressed with you. I mean, there you are, a shop owner from Menomonie, Wisconsin. You're fielding 2 bikes. Your rig is right next to Trask Turbo's rig, who's arguably, they had a Bagger GP. They had 1 bike. They had little mechanical issues too. Everybody was kind of sorting things out. What was the one thing that you took away from BRL?
Oh, man. I'm telling you what, guys, there is some competition. There are some heavy hitters. I was fully confident going in, like every racer is. But, man, when I got there and I saw what everybody else was bringing and the other riders on the track and how they were performing, it makes my hair stand up. I mean, it's awesome. And, we struggled a little with our GP bike, but we did pretty decent with King Nothing. You take the good with the bad. Unfortunately, we got hit with the bad right out of the chute. But they say adversity creates greatness, so I got nowhere to go but up from here, I guess.
You're always so damn positive, man. I love that about you. That's so fantastic. So John, he had 2 bikes there.
Yeah. What failed on the GP bike?
All right, guys, if you got a minute, I'm going to give you the deal here. We were testing in Road America a couple days prior to Utah, so last Wednesday, and we went down. So my GP bike low-sided and went through the stones off the turn. So we, when we showed up in Utah, we showed up with tools and a welder fixing it. That was number one thing. I mean, we left Road America and went straight to Utah. We didn't go to the shop. We evaluated our situation. We knew what we had for equipment and spare parts, which was like everything, including bikes with spare parts if we didn't have what we needed. So we went out there and we worked on it for like a day and a half, getting it ready to run. And then all of a sudden, the issues came. Broken rocker arm stud, broken rocker arm shaft, broken injector wire, fuel pump, low fuel pressure. It was just one thing after another. And I didn't want to blame the crash, but at some point you got to think that it's all related somehow. So, oh man, I got to say this. I got to thank the guys that were with me. They literally worked like 15 hours a day on that bike. They were supposed to be having fun.
Those guys that were with you, though, you guys, I've been around a lot of pits, not in the motorcycle side of things. I keep going back to this, but, drag racing at a pretty high level. I know when I'm watching people that are there for the right reasons. I know when I'm watching people that are doing the right things. And listen, man, sometimes you can't overcome a few gremlins. And you take your lumps, like you said, and it takes pressure to make diamonds. But man, you guys shined all weekend. I never see anybody through a wrench. I never heard anybody cuss anyone out. You guys were pros, man. I'm telling you, this BRL thing, it's going to grow legs, and you guys are going to be, if nothing else, when this goes down in the history books, you've got Pistol Pete's Custom Cycle in that history book 2 times, man. You showed up and you did what you're supposed to do. So I give my hats off to you, man. I do.
Hey, you know what? We had a lot of negative stuff happen with the GP bike, but you know what? That King Nothing bike behind me here, we went out there and took 7th place in the Pro Stock class. That bike has floorboards on it. It has Metzler Cruise Tech tires on it. It has an MU85 16 rear Metzler Cruise Tech rear tire. So I took a fairing out of the shed and spray painted it black and bolted it on because the rules required a fairing. So you know what? Old King Nothing back here, as usual, got very little love. And performed excellent as usual. And the one over here that got all the love gave us fits. But again, no,
Pete,
what the heck, man? I just, you know what? I wanted to be there to help everyone. I wanted to support the sport. And whatever it took for me to do that is what I was going to do. So there we go.
Pete, what are the plans for King Nothing now? I mean, you bought that bike last winter for what, $4 or $5 grand, something like that?
Yeah, and I stuck about 30 in it. But
yeah, I figured at least. So, now, are you planning to switch that to mids and get a carbon fiber fairing for it and keep rolling with that guy?
Boy, I tell you what, I love that bike. It's tried and true and proven. But to be competitive, I'm going to have to get an M8, probably a little bit of a clone of this one back here. So things are interchangeable, and wheels and tires and this and that. And I think I'd be better to start over with like a race build from zero and just keep the other one here as I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to sell it, but I love that thing. I love it. Hey, here's another thing. 1 week before we raced it, I had it on my big breast cancer charity ride, doing burnouts and dragging the tire up and down the street and everything else. I mean, horsing around. Those are the same tires we raced on.
I saw that.
So, I mean, hey, we got all kinds of good things to say about that one.
That's awesome.
So when BRL announces their next race, are you going to field 2 bikes, 1 bike? What are you going to do? How do you show up?
I'll be there with 2 for sure. Yep.
Awesome. That's good. So I got to ask, we talked all about King Nothing. John, what do you think? What's up with the GP bike? Tell us what's going on. Let the cat out of the bag. I know you didn't just roll it out of the trailer and leave it there.
You what? You talking to me? What?
Yeah. I said I know you didn't just roll that bike out of the trailer and leave it in the showroom. Is it fixed? Is it running? Is it done?
Yeah. So get this, guys. Believe it or not, one of the issues at the track we found was a broken front injector wire. We got it back to the shop. We had to pull off on the final race because we had a broken rear injector wire. So wow, it had to be from the crash, right? I mean, the odds of that. Yeah. It must have torqued that engine and chassis just right, and internal brakes in the front and rear wires on top of the fuel pump, on top of the rocker arm shaft, the rocker arm stud, and everything else. It just had to be crash related. So whatever, man, whatever. We'll adapt and overcome and achieve and do whatever the heck we have to do to get to the next race and prove that we got a competitive machine. So we'll just keep going.
Is it all fixed right now? Is it back together?
It's running. Yes, it is fixed, but hey, we tore down we thought at one point we had a stuck valve or a sticky valve when it would warm up. So I had a 131 Screaming Eagle crate motor in the trailer that we tore down at the track. Never been in a bike. Tore down at the track and put the heads on this turbo motor. I mean, we had this engine down, the whole top end and turbo and everything off of this engine.
Holy
3 hours before we raced and 3 minutes before we were supposed to be on TV, we rolled that bike through number 12 and out into the hot pit. I mean, you couldn't cut it any closer. I mean, we were sweating.
Dude, I was there to see that. John, wow. I was in those pits while all that was going on, and I thought, well, this is pretty awesome. I mean, this is racing. This is what when you're a fan like I am, and you go to the track, this is what you want to see somebody doing, busting their ass, overcoming things, and making it happen. Man, it was cool. Wow. It was very cool.
Jason, could I tag off of what you just said there?
Absolutely.
So like NHRA drag race, and I love it. I go to Brainerd, Minnesota and watch all the guys race Top Fuel and whatever. 3/4 of the fun is watching them work on the cars in the pits. So although that isn't the contribution I wanted to give to the weekend, I gave it because people got a show and they can see what it's like to work on these things or what it takes, I guess. So there we go.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you came out and you put 1,000% into it, and all your crew and your friends and the family that the Pistol Pete's Custom Cycles brought in. I just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to let everybody know what happened, and that and show the enthusiasm that you carry so fervently for what we're doing, and how much you support everything in the performance community, whether it's going to John's show in Daytona, coming to our show in Lakeland, Florida. You've been a pleasure to be around every minute that I've been around you, and I will continue to support Pistol Pete's Custom Cycles. You are a charmed individual, and you keep good company, and I appreciate you being on there. And I want to make sure that everybody knows, we've got a fully packed show tonight, but make sure you're going to Pistol Pete's Instagram, Pistol Pete's Custom Cycles. If you want to check them out online, listen, this guy is serious about high performance and horsepower. Go to his website, pistolpetesusa.com. If you're up in Wisconsin, look him up, man. This guy will build you a bike. This guy will build you a motor. This guy, he's the real deal. And I super, super appreciate it. And Pete, will you come back here in a few weeks and talk a little bit more performance?
I will come on here every single time you ask me. I like what you're doing. I love talking with you guys. I love what y'all are doing for the industry too. Hey, we all got to work together, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm going to let you get back to work, and John and I are going to get moving down the line here. And
I'll talk to you.
All right. Have a good night, buddy.
Take care.
Man, that guy is so full of energy every time I talk to him. I love being around that guy. He's so super, super positive. And somebody else that was positive at BRL was the team at Lucky Speed Shop. And I had a chance to sit down with those dudes, and we're going to show you that segment right now. We're going to go to commercial, and then we'll be back with pro stock bagger racer Steve Chamberlain.
Hey, this is Jason from Torque Performance Television. I'm here with the rider from Lucky Speed Shop, Cody Dantley. You go by Dantley. Yeah. It's a little bit more energy in the pits today and a little bit more noise and everything. The grid's set. How do you feel about where you're at?
We're pretty excited. Got the bike dialed in and we're ready to rip.
This bike's about as grassroots as it can get in these pits. You guys are the only ones running a carburetor, and you're also running a small rear tire.
Yep. We got a stock swing arm. The bike's a 2002. We made some good modifications in the controls, but yeah, it's a 88 cubic inch motor with a carburetor and a 160 rear tire, and we're just giving her the beans.
Do you feel like this is a power thing or a finesse thing on this track?
I feel like it's a Harley, so it rides different than a street bike. The biggest thing is going to be the corners and keeping your speed.
What is your background right now?
I've been riding Harleys for over 15 years.
Okay.
I've rode, started when I was 12, and then I've rode since I was 3. And just done a lot of racing, downhill mountain biking, and just forever 2 wheels, just constantly on 2 wheels.
Is this your first foray as a professional driver or as a hired driver?
Yes, this is my first time racing at this level, and especially in such a short period of time.
So the grid set, are you happy with your position in the lineup?
Yes, we're very happy. Yeah.
So what's your first move out of the gate? When do you go to the front?
Just basically just get up to speed, find a rhythm, and just hold my line the whole time and just focus on the checkered flag.
So I've talked to some of the other racers. They say this is a really fast track, and a lot of the other racers, this is their first time kind of, or the bagger racing thing is at this level is so new anyway. So there's not a lot of no one's super experienced. A lot of guys are street guys. A lot of guys are guys that are hired guns on sport bikes that are coming over. Do you think you have the advantage?
No, they definitely have the time on the track, which is huge as far as track etiquette, knowing lines, holding your line, and understanding how to read other riders. But as far as the Harley-Davidson side, yeah, it's a Harley. So these guys got me on the straights all day. They're yarding me on the straights. Just that fuel-injected M8, those motors are so nice, and they're just pulling me. But it's in the corners where I feel like I have an advantage just because I've been riding these for so long. So they're coming in on the inside, and you got to keep your speed up. You can't let your speed down on a Harley because you don't have the power to get up like you do on a street bike that's revving 12,000 RPMs.
All right, well, I wish you a bunch of luck. Cody Dantley.
Thank you.
With Lucky Speed Shop.
Thank you for your
Kick
time.
some ass, man. Have a good day.
Thank you.
It's Jason from Torque Performance Television with Cody Dantley and the Lucky Speed Shop. Hey, this is Jason with Torque Performance Television. I'm with Carl Rao, the owner of Lucky Speed Shop.
How you doing today?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing today?
We're great. We actually showed up here. We're running on really limited sleep. We got here on a shoestring budget, and we're stoked. We qualified. We're pretty much here testing the bike, and everything's going well.
You are undoubtedly the underdog.
Yep.
You have a carburetor.
Yep.
You probably have the smallest rear tire and probably the oldest chassis in the entire grid.
Yep. And our boy Cody is working with it and making things happen. We are so pumped on Cody and what he's doing for us. We're really happy to be working with him. He's a solid guy, solid rider, and he's just, ready to race, ready to go.
There's a much different energy in your pits than some of the other pits. Some of the other pits are a little more, not less intense, but different amount of intensity. How are you guys managing to keep it kind of, there's a little bit of chill over here at the same time. There's some, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a really cold beer on a hot day.
Yeah, so we're all a bunch of guys that are hard workers that come from construction, tree cutting, this and that. So we deal with really intense situations all the time. So we've learned over the years how to basically achieve the end goal under a lot of pressure. So we work really well together. We have our moments where we're all, really high-strung once in a while.
Ready to throw hands?
Who doesn't? Yeah, but we get through it. We all respect each other a ton, and have just been kicking ass, taking names, putting countless hours into this bike, and everybody has just been putting 150% effort, and it all boils down to Cody, and Cody has been just killing it. We're so stoked with him.
Yeah, he's fun to talk to. He's high level of energy, real positive. He's even the way he was describing some of the obstacles that you guys have to overcome as a team. He was real positive about those things, kind of just being they are what they are. You can't change them. So
if you're gonna anytime you're going to try to achieve anything at this level, you're going to run into obstacles, and you got to learn how to work around them. And our job is to problem solve and make sure we get where we need to be. And overall, like, we're really excited to be here. We were planning on just coming and testing and didn't really know how well we were going to do, but just had high hopes. And really, this is turning out to be like one of the best weekends of all of our lives, because we're qualified. We made it to the races, and we're contending to really kick some ass and take names here.
Yeah, so when things go down in the history of the inaugural Bagger Racing League thing, when this thing takes off and everybody, this is a huge event, everybody gets to scale up with it, your team's name will be on that list of the first people that showed up and did the work to get here. So I commend you for that, man.
Thank you.
So it's Carl Rao from Lucky Speed Shop.
Yes,
and
sir.
Where can they find you online at?
We're at luckyspeedshop.com, and you can also find us at luckyspeedshop_ on Instagram. And don't forget to follow our YouTube channel, Lucky Speed Shop. Super easy to find, and let's rock and roll. Let's race.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, man.
Thank
I appreciate
you.
it.
I appreciate you.
And that, John, is how I would sum up my weekend at BRL, was with hanging with people like that were just absolutely full of energy and positivity. And no matter where I went, you know, like I said in that segment, some of the pits were a little more intense and a little more corporate. Maybe, you know, they had a little bit more high stakes. There was some of the pits had a lot of people in them. You know, you go over to the Saddle pit and, you know, the SNS and Mission Foods for the Indian pit. There was some real pros. Pros. And those dudes right there, they weren't pros, but I consider them now. They acted professional and conducted themselves and set themselves up, and they had their shit together. And I commend anybody that shows up there and does that.
Yeah. Seem like good dudes, you know?
Yeah. So the next person that I want to bring in is we can add, he was the small tire bagger build-off winner in Daytona.
Yeah, skinny tire bagger build-off winner.
Yeah, and now we can add pro stock racer. to his resume
there. Look at that.
Steve Chamberlain, I think it's S Chamberlain 5150 on Instagram. The owner of Screamin' Speed and Fab, Mr. Steve Chamberlain. Hey there, buddy. How are you?
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
Waiting in the green room so long. Unfortunately, our green room doesn't have White Claws in it, but I'm hoping that the room you're sitting in has a White Claw or two for you in it.
I bet he's got a couple over there somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, always.
So, what a weekend, right? I mean, you've had a good year, as good a year as anybody could have. You've made hay while the sun shined this entire time, all through last year, through all that bullshit that happened last year. And then this year you start off Daytona. You always put your money where your mouth is. And I got to give it up to you, dude. You're a stud. You show up and you do what you say you're going to do. You're a man of your word. And I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, we're just out here having fun. You know, the whole Bagger Racing League, like when it came out, I wanted to do it, but I was just like, all right, how to make it happen? You know, because you needed the track days and you needed, you know, the racer license and everything. And I didn't have all that, but I felt like I had a capable bike, you know, between how my street bike is. So we ended up making it happen. We ended up doing the new racer school at the track. They offered that. So we got certified the morning of qualifying.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I ended up, I crashed in the new racer school. I did a nice low side and picked the bike up and brought it back to the pits. It wasn't too bad. Got a pair of channel locks on the rear brake lever and ripped that back straight. But other than that, like my fairing's like, but.
We'll have to do some different wind tunnel testing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
With all the leathers and all the protective gear that they require you to have and everything, I came out without a scratch, you know. So I just had a little scratch on my helmet shield, and then Benny Carlson of the Suburban Motors, he's like, "Oh, I got another shield right here." You know, just seemed to be like the vibe of the weekend. Like everybody that needed something, you know, like I know you were standing there when then like somebody needed a motor and they go over the loudspeaker and they're like, "Hey, does anybody have a twin cam motor? You know, we're looking for one." You know, like that was just the vibe of the weekend, man. Everybody wanted to just be out there and race.
That's awesome. Last year you hit the deer, right? Was that a year ago? I saw you post about that.
Yeah, that was on my way to Laconia in June. So, you know, already, yeah, same bike, the one right up here behind us. That's the one I hit a deer on, and then it's got the little commemorative thing. There's still deer hair in the fairing that went racing with me. So I didn't know if that deer ever knew I was going to go racing in Utah sometime in its life.
And how was the school? Was the school worth it? Was it just a prerequisite? Did you get anything out of it?
Oh yeah, I got a decent amount of it. Just the biggest thing that they're concerned with the school is flags. You know, like you can't communicate on the track, obviously during a race situation and all that. So they want you and they ingrain it in you of what the flags mean. You know, like a waving yellow, a stationary yellow, red flag, like what to do, a black flag. Like that's their importance of the racing school.
Awesome. What about the teacher? How was he?
The teacher, Mark Marrow. So he was like a 47-time like national champion. Dude was cool. You know, it's a really accelerated course that was like supposed to be 8 hours, and we jammed it into 4. And then he was actually Alloy Art. They have like a Softail. And then he was actually in the Big Twin GP race on the Alloy Art Softail. So I think they like, hey, come teach some people, make some money, go race
then get on the field.
You know,
that's
like
cool.
they ended up letting them race and everything, but I think they kind of had a couple issues with the bike and whatnot. So I don't know if he ended up finishing. But
now with that course you took, are you like if once the other dates are established, are you licensed to go yet? Okay.
Yep. So I should be all good to go with the Bagger Racing League and everything. So I'm excited, and it was fun. It was a blast.
I bet it was a good time. Hands down, you would do it again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that's all I've thought about since like I left there on Sunday. I'm like, you know, because Pete's bike with that King Nothing, and then the Danley guy that you just had on there, and then so like. And the finish ended up being like Danley was in 6th, and then the Pistol Pete bike was in 7th. And then I think I finished like 0.6 seconds behind the Pistol Pete bike. Like me, him, and Danley, like, which they didn't put it on the whole TV thing. Like we had a battle the whole race. And like, I don't know, dude, I had front row seat to all that. Like it was so good.
There you go.
Yeah. Definitely.
They had me sitting at that one corner, John. There wasn't like, I had an all access pass, and I found out that the all access pass would not get me into the room with the free food. And the all access pass didn't let me over the wall onto the other side of the track, but I would have really liked to get, you can see that first turn. Steve, you were mentioning that first turn was pretty hairy, was it not? It's pretty deceptive.
Yeah, that was definitely one that I had to work on, you know, because you'd come off the front stretch, and then I had GoPro footage. So, you know, I'd hit about 95 miles an hour on the front stretch. And then it was like, once you cross the finish line, like within a couple foot, it was like, just grab a fistful of front brake and then downshift and then just kind of throw it in the corner at, you know, 50 to 60 miles an hour. But it was like almost a double apex where it's, you know, you're going to apex that first part, and then you're diming it up, and then you're apexing on the way back. You know, that ended up seeming to be like the strongest line of it, but it was just fun to master, you know.
You rode there?
I did not ride there. Just
okay. All right.
Other than the tech parts of it, you know, you have to have a front brake lever guard and a belly pan, no kickstand, and like a shark fin for your chain drive, and then safety wire, a bunch of stuff. The only thing I changed pretty much from my street setup was I got a pair of 17-inch wheels from SMT Machining. We did like a 17 3.5 front and a 17 5.5 rear, and then Q4 tires, which you can see on the screen right now.
Wow. Okay. Because I know you put the miles in. That's why I was curious if you if you bid it and just went out there and changed what you had to.
So many people joked about it. You know, I would have if I had all my stuff there, but just being like the first race, like I can't carry everything in the saddlebags, you know. But this bike behind me, it's 2018. I have about 64,500 miles on it, you know. Wow. So like it's been my like everything bike, you know. So you know, I do wheelies on it, you know, as you see from the start line.
Yeah, I was trying to find. I thought I had some videos of you doing some wheel. There you are, wheeling there. I thought I had some video of you wheeling during the area where they kept telling everybody you can't go more than 35 miles an hour. So what Steve would do is get to 35 faster than anybody.
This is a good one right here.
Pull it up. Yeah, there you go. That was great. It was great to see you having fun. It was great to see you putting in the work. It was great to get a chance to talk to you. And I don't know, I'm sure you remember, but we'll run it probably next week or the week after next. I got you right after the race, and you were still, you know, real amped up. Much, you know, you didn't have a ride home in the car to think about all the things that happened on the weekend. You were still in the throes of it. So you were a much different mindset. But what was the one thing you would tell somebody that wanted to do this, other than go ahead and do it? But what would you caution them?
I don't know. I guess just having your bike set up, you know, that can be kind of the most stressful thing. Like read through the rules of when you're going to do it. Cause there was some people that are set up next to me, like they didn't read through with, you know, all the safety wiring of the bolts and that. So then they're stressing out, and then they're almost like not going to make their qualifying runs and their practice runs because they ain't tech in time and everything like that. Wow. So it's like, read the rules on, you know, they're all pretty simple, just safety precautions. So go in there with a setup bike, you know, so then once you get there, you're not sitting there and stressing about if your bike's good enough, and you can actually go out there and race, you know. But
what about as far as like personal safety equipment, you know, the PPE stuff that you've got to have? Obviously you have the gloves, the leathers, the boots, and all that stuff. It's a much different set of rule of engagement from other types of racing. You know, they were pretty serious about the safety, and they wanted everybody to come home, and everybody did, you know. But there were quite a few bikes that got pushed over the edge. You know, explain kind of what the track was like. You know, what did the track feel like compared to a road?
Like that track, you know, it's pretty tight and technical. You know, it's throwing into some of these corners, like with this YouTube or this GoPro footage. It's like some of them just trying to apex it right, and then, you know, not trying to drag hard parts. Cause I went out there and I still had like the floorboards on my bike. You know, I had them cut in half for a little bit more clearance, but, you know, I was still dragging the mounts. I drug holes in my boots. Like my brand new boots have like holes in the side of it, you know, where, you know, it's about an 1/8 inch from, you know, grinding off skin now. So, but the track was fun. I definitely liked it. You know, it's so cool just being set out there, like in the mountains, and, you know, wake up in the morning and whatnot. So
this is something that, I mean, it was a the venue was absolutely breathtaking, you know, being out there in Utah, and everybody was so nice in town, and that I saw a very different Steve Chamberlain this weekend than I'm used to seeing. And I understood why. Are you going to do this again? Is this a real thing now, where did you get bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. I got some things in the works, maybe with like a different bike, just so I don't have to destroy my cross country bike, maybe build like a more dedicated one, you know, for it. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be at the next one. I don't know if they like announced when it is, but, you know, I heard some things that it might be like somewhere in Texas. So for the next one.
Oh man, close to home.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. To make it easy.
There you go. So
let's talk about that for a minute. If you're going to build a purpose-built race bike, what's the first part you're ordering? Obviously, you've got the wheels. You're going to take those off the blue bike. You know,
yep.
Where you spending your money?
So I got wheels.
I mean, you're spending your money at Hardcore Cycles because they'll have, you know, but
yeah. So
I know guys can hook you up.
So a couple of things that I know from like my bike this weekend, how it's set up for the street to what I'd want to change with a different bike. Definitely I need to get, you know, like a mid setup, but I don't even know if I want to do like the off the shelf mids. I almost want them higher than that, you know, just to that with a taller seat.
You see a lot of those guys with like the rear mids, but I mean, you're a pretty big fucking guy. So like, how can you like get the legs up?
Yeah.
You know,
So like
where you need them.
Yeah. My idea, which I see, you know, I was seeing on some other bikes because, you know, as I'm walking through the pits, I'm just trying to get like ideas, you know, like how do these people have their setup and this and that. Cause I kind of do all the work on my own bike and everything. So, trying to do that. And I was thinking like right where the rear exhaust is, you know, not having like a rear set, like some people were like Danley, you know, he had a rear set, but then his toes are pointing to the ground. And when they're leaning over, it was almost like his shifter and his brakes were like in the ground. So like trying to see like where people were scrubbing and everything. Another big thing, like Tony Tucker's bike, he was down to scrubbing the primary, you know, he's touching the mids and then kind of touching the primary too. You see a lot on the GP bikes. They've been doing like narrow primaries with like a full billet cover. So I want that. Probably like a tank with like a knee knock on it, you know, just so you can get hanging weight off the bike. I wasn't really that great at hanging weight off the bike, you know, just with the floorboard setup, but we'll try our best.
Steve, with your height, did you see the pedestal seats that a lot of the guys had? I think that would be a big advantage for you.
Oh yeah. You know, I was after doing some laps and everything like that, I was almost tempted to get a bunch of duct tape and foam and then just making something ugly just to, you know, but at the end of the day, I just kind of, I was about to like pull the radio out of my bike and pull the headlight, pull the tail lights and do all this just to be more competitive. Yeah. But then I was like, all right, first one, the pro stock one, like I want it. So, you know, basically I can bolt my kickstand back on and drive this thing home if I wanted to, you know. I don't think that the Q4 tires would make it all the way back to Texas because those things are super sticky, but you know, with a normal set of wheels and tires, like that's kind of like, I was going to go overboard. Then I was like, no, let's just tone it back. And this is what it is, you know, see where the rules take it between the bagger GP and the pro stock, if things are going to change and whatnot. So
if you get a second bike, will it definitely be a bagger?
Oh yeah. I don't fit on a dime.
I figured
something like that.
I figured, but I wanted to ask.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm in it for the bagger. You know, I ride that bike, you know, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. So, you know, I was probably the biggest and tallest guy on the track, you know, from what I've seen. I don't know if anybody was fatter than me, but maybe might've been some equal height people, but I don't know.
That's awesome.
Right on. Well, listen, man, we appreciate all that you do for our community. We appreciate all you do for us here and helping us out with Torque. We're big fans of yours, you know, John and I and Chris and Heather. And we want to make sure we keep in touch with you. And guys, you should guys and girls, go to S Chamberlain 5150 on Instagram and follow our boy, Steve. If you're looking for some killer side covers, if you see the side covers on this, he works his ass off and he manufactures a fantastic product there at screamingspeedandfab.com. And Steve, can we have you on again in a few weeks, maybe to talk a little bit more about racing?
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Have a great night. And I appreciate you hanging out with us here for a little bit.
Always cool to talk to you, Steve.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Oh, what a great guy that guy is, man. He's so fun to be around. You know, I spent some time with him when I was in Texas a couple months ago. God, this year is going by so fast. Yeah. Good Lord. Listen, we need to go to, we're going to go to a commercial break here. And then when we come back to the SHINE WERKS studio, we've got we've got some killer from the Graham segments tonight.
There we go.
We'll be right back in the SHINE WERKS studio.
Cool. See you in a little bit.
Hey, little voodoo child, you got me running. Law Tigers are giving 3 lucky riders the prize of a lifetime, worth more than $120,000. It's Stylin' in Sturgis. The grand prize includes a trip to the 81st annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and a custom Paul Yaffe bagger, valued at over $85,000. Your bike will feature Hoffman Designs carbon fiber parts, rolling art custom motorcycle paint, exclusive parts from Trask Performance and ODC Suspension, complete with a stay at Glencoe Camp Resort. Sign up now at ltsturgis.com.
We're ready to race. What's your strategy? Go fast.
The Fueling name has been associated with racing and high-performance engines since 1974, when founder Jim Fueling started fueling the flames. From Daytona to Monaco, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to the Indy 500. Fueling is here to compete. Look for the Flying Pig to run up front this year with pilot Ben Bosman. Fueling. No bullshit, just performance.
And welcome back to the SHINE WERKS studio. I am your host, Jason Hallman, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. John O'Brien from Hardcore Cycles. And did you catch that Pistol Pete said that he ran that race, that bag with the Pro Stock bagger with the Metzler Cruise Tech tires that he had on the thing already?
Yes. Did you see Pistol Pete in the back of two of Steve's pictures?
I did.
I thought that was so funny.
It was great, man. I wish you could have been there. You have to go to the next one, dude. You got to promise me right now, everybody on this show, that you'll be there with me, and we'll get knocked out. So it's time for mine and your favorite segment here. I've got 4 videos that I found for us. I think these fit the mold very well. They're all two-wheel themed, and the first one is from @KidsGettingHurt, which it's such a mean page.
I follow them.
Follow them, but check this one out. This is so funny.
Oh, dang it!
Oh.
I think my favorite part was where they slow the video down, and it's like that part of is it Old School where Will Ferrell shoots himself in the neck with the dart, the tranquilizer, and he's like, we're still trying to find. I'm still trying to find a kid video that beats our greatest hits ever. The kid that loses gets the wind knocked out of him. But the next one it showed up on my feed, and I had to share it. It's from @don't_fucking_die. And this one, dude, you gotta listen. We'll have to play it a couple times, but listen to the audio at the end of this video, John. It's clever. You can't. Oh my God, that thing came apart like a wicker basket.
Dude, what was his plan? What was his plan there?
Like physically, it's gonna get squirrely with the one in the back. It's just a loss of traction.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically talking like basic physics. You're gonna lose the traction in the back, and this thing is just gonna go. I mean, he just clobbers that other vehicle in the street. I think it was another one of those.
My 5-year-old and I were leaving the gym, and it was one of those parked.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, is that a motorcycle? I'm like, That's not a motorcycle, but
yeah, right. Hey,
I don't know, motorcycle.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but Rich Petoniak is over here. He wants one of those hardcore shirts, those Miami Vice ones.
I mean, we got them on our website.
Yeah, we'll have to get him. We'll have to get him hooked up with that. He's part of the Cycle Source family. So.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So, and then this third one, look, check this out. Like, this is a POV video, which is one of my favorite video formats. Just check this out and see if you can put together what we're watching. You might have to watch it once or twice, but. So you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
At first I thought it was a Pan American, and I'm like, there's no. The audio's messed up.
No, look at that thing.
That's
Have you ridden one of those?
I haven't. I haven't ridden one.
I have no desire to. I know they were doing the test rides, and I was like, nah.
Last year, there's a young man named Jesse Dalba from down in like Fort Myers or Naples area. He rode all the way from Florida to Sturgis on one of those things.
He did.
By himself. He did not have hotel rooms, none of that stuff. So I interviewed him for Garage Built podcast, and we had some. I don't even remember what happened, but the episode never got released, and he and I haven't been in the same space at the same time. And then the last one I had to
throw. How did he charge it?
Regenerative braking for a lot of it. He figured out a way to increase the battery length by overdriving the brakes, like using the brakes too much. And then he planned out all of his stops, and he would sleep next to his bike while it was charging the whole way. No chase vehicle either. And the kid's only like 21 or 22. I mean, yeah, I would love
you don't need a chase vehicle then.
And that careless, I'll just sleep right here, And our fourth and final one tonight, of course, I had to dig into the drag racing. So
cars or bikes?
No, bikes. Bikes.
All right. God.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't do that.
Wow.
Not bad. Not bad. Most of our friends over at Zipper's Performance, not bad. That is some torque. It was mostly stock looking, but you could hear that it wasn't. It wasn't stock at all. So I'm just excited to see what everybody's doing with everything they got going on, man. I want to. What a good show, right? A lot of energy, a lot of things. I want to thank Ari from Law Tigers. I want to thank Paul Yaffe from Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation, Mr. Steve Chamberlain from Screamin' Speed and Fab, and then, of course, our buddy Pistol Pete at Pistol Pete's Custom Cycles. And, of course, all of our sponsors, Metzler, our friend Brian Clock at SHINE WERKS Studios. Man, what a long week. I'm kind of glad that tomorrow is Friday. I'm not a TGIF kind of guy, but our nation's birthday is this weekend. So hopefully everybody's going to be with their families. You've got some events to talk about.
We do. The Sturgis shootout. I mean, everybody's talking about this. People are talking about going to Sturgis that weren't planning on going for this shootout. You got San Diego customers, HPI. This is supposed to be basically the shit in Sturgis.
So, I can't wait. I like drag racing, and this is supposed to be the realest stuff that's out there. And Chip and Mikey they're no joke. I mean, if they're going to do something, they do it right.
Yeah. Oh, hands down, they're good guys, and this is going to be cool. I think this is the first time they've had a shootout like this in Sturgis in like 20 years or 19 years.
I think Chris has a video about that. I'd like to see what.
Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got.
I'm sorry. Do I have a video of the shootout?
Because I have his video queued up.
No. I meant I was fortunate enough last weekend to spend some time at at Toast Performance. I was telling you.
Oh, yeah.
We want to talk about that. You know, we've got to have Dan on here. I guess, I forgot that was Monday night. See, that's what messed me up for the whole week, Chris. I'm blaming it on you because I was on Shop Talk on Monday and I thought it was Sunday. I lost the whole damn day flying on the red eye from Utah, coming back and landing at 6 a.m. in Orlando. It's your fault. I totally forgot. It threw my whole week off. That's what it was. So I don't know if you know this or not, John, but if you didn't catch Shop Talk on Monday,
I saw the video.
Can we just show that video? Can we borrow that from Shop Talk here and just show it? Dude, man, I enjoy hanging out with that guy. He's a great guy.
Oh, there we go.
Right there.
Look at that barrel of sex appeal.
Right? Yeah, right. So you're taking over the Sturgis Buffalo Chip.
You are.
How dare you show up your first year at Sturgis? You're going to just get all these things going right out of the gate. It's going to be tough to have a good second year, a bigger second year if you're coming out there this strong, dude.
We got the performance show, all the different classes. We have the Clockwork, Shine Works, Skinny Tire Bagger Build Off coming to Sturgis. So if you have an 08 bagger and earlier with a $15,000 cap, bring it on out. I mean, we want to see it.
If somebody already owns one, what's the base MSRP or the base retail price that you're putting on that? So they, because if you already own it, you spend 15. That's different. Buy one for 3 or 4 or 5.
Exactly. So I think what we figured, I think we discussed this last time, and what we ended up doing was whatever the trade-in value was.
Oh, okay. So, that's a fair.
It's fair, because some of these guys, they're redoing their baggers that they've owned for 15 years, 16 years. That's the same thing. Well, I bought it for $18,000 back in 04.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, whatever the trade-in value is for it right now, and then we go from there. So that comes off for the bike.
Perfect. And we've got the FXR show and Dynamix. So I'm very honored this year. I got asked to build a trophy and pick a class. Yeah, Joe Milky called me last week. I'm super stoked. Wow. So I'm going to build a killer trophy. I've got some really neat stuff in the back that I'm going to put some together. Something that I want to build something that somebody would be proud to have in their collection. These people that build these awesome bikes that are just killer, that win these shows. I want to build something that's equally cool for them to honor their hard work too. So it's going to be pretty cool.
What day is that? Sunday?
So that's going to be on Sunday. Yeah.
Sunday, yeah.
I think this thing here, the Bell Brawl, I think that's going to take on an even bigger life now that all this done stuff. I just because I think, dude, the Sun Show at BRL, I would have to say that everybody on the grounds that didn't have a wrench in their hand and wasn't professionally obligated to be in the pit area was along the fence watching this this stuff. So I can't imagine that this one would be any different. Yeah. They're so much fun to watch these guys throw these motorcycles around. It's mind blowing.
It's amazing. And that belt brawl, if you watch, like when they have those for 3-4 days after, I'm stuck to my phone and watching all the Instagram videos, and you know what I mean. We use them for Torque the Gram, and you know,
we do a lot.
It's a giant fucking party. It just looks like fun. Before, after, you know what I mean. It's something everybody wants to go to.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So I think I think we can put a pin in it for episode number 10. Good work here, everybody. Yeah, right. Hitting double digits now. So
double digits.
Yep. Want to thank the SHINE WERKS crew and Law Tigers, Mitzler Tires. The list keeps growing and growing.
Electric cycles, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, and NAMS, electric lighting, and then I want to make sure that all these people over here, you folks, thank God that you're watching and sharing and liking.
I point the wrong way, so I'm just going to keep it.
Yeah, you want to point to your right.
My right.
Yes.
Dude, it's never
on your screen.
Awesome. This is awful.
There you go. All right, buddy. Hey, have a good. You've got some sales going on this weekend. Go to hardcorecycles.com. Right? What is you've got some stuff out there, right? If you're not following John now on Hardcore Cycles on Instagram, I don't know.
There you go. 10% off plus free shipping. Check out. Use the discount code FREEDOM.
All right, and you know what? If you're in the Central Florida area and you want to come in and get some service USA, we're going to be closed this weekend for our nation. Yeah, giving everybody the day off. So we'll be back.
Sit around and cook some soups and eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
Yeah, that sounds like you, Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get some ice cream and sit in my pool.
Yeah. You have an Uber Eats.
Right.
You have it delivered.
All right, buddy. Everybody that's watching, have a wonderful Independence Day. God bless everybody. And
absolutely. Be safe. See you next week.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.